Welcome to Beyond the Prep, a podcast dedicated to providing information and insights into the bodybuilding sport. This podcast covers a wide range of topics from finding a coach to the struggling of competing, nutrition, supplements, cost, and much more. I'll be talking with competitors so you can hear their stories, judges, coaches. If you're interested in sharing your story, send me a note at skapach40@gmail.com. Welcome to Beyond the Prep. I'm your host, Sherry Capach. I'd like to welcome this afternoon, Chris. Is it Cristina or do you prefer Chris?
You should just go by Chris.
Okay, Chris, welcome. And you're competing this afternoon. So a few questions for you. Why'd you get into bodybuilding?
Honestly, I got into it when I was going through my divorce.
Okay.
About 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago. I turned to working out just to help me deal with the stress.
Mm-hmm.
And it just started with home workouts.
Okay.
Yeah. And my mom had some home workout videos. I was just doing them at home. And then I had a girlfriend who told me, oh, you should compete. And it was like 9 weeks before Muscle Beach in Edmonton. And I was like, I've never even heard of a show. Like, I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
She's like, you're in better condition than I am. You should do this show. And I'm doing it. And so one of my friends, he was a coach, and I talked to him. He's like, I'll coach you for free if you want to do it. Like, you know what? Sure, why not? So I turned to it and I got into competing. And then from there, I just fell in love with it. And I started going to the gym and just like fell in love with bodybuilding. I was like, wow, like this is what I'm meant to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you think, like, because you knew nothing about it. So the structure commitment that it takes to get on that stage, how did you handle that for your first prep?
I was terrified just because I am a very introverted person. My family, they all are very extroverted. They love the spotlight, they love the stage, like they fight for it. And I'm the one that will just sit back quietly and watch.
Yeah.
And anytime they try to make a scene, I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep me away. So they were actually all extremely surprised too. Like, how are you getting on stage? This is not the person you are. I'm like, I know, but it's a challenge. And I loved that thought of the challenge, challenging myself and pushing myself to do something that I was so terrified of. And just like facing that fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what about the foods and that? Did you have any struggles, especially for your first time?
So the first one was pretty hard just because of my background beforehand. I was anorexic.
Okay.
So I had finally gotten to a place where I had put on some muscle and like gotten to a healthy place with eating. Because before I was eating like 1 meal a day. Right. I was just starving myself. So to get to a place of like eating 5-6 meals a day, I was like, it was so good, right? It was really, I loved it. Okay. I absolutely loved it. But then it was once you diet down for a show and you're that lean again. And I did a photo shoot right afterwards. So like seeing that, I was like, oh, forgot what this is like that being that lean. So it was like trying to be careful with my mindset of not falling back into that, like enjoying and like wanting to be skinny, right? You know, and like being worried about the scale. And so moving forward, I knew like going into off season, I had to stay away from the scale. Okay. I absolutely couldn't look at it. It was like, okay, no, if we're putting on size, we're putting on size, but I can't look at the scale. And even like over the years, that's one huge thing. Like now I'm okay now. I'm in a good place now, like where my coach can tell me to send check-ins with my weight and I'm okay. But like probably about 2 years ago even, I just was like, no, don't ask me for my weight. I can't look at the scale. I have to stay away from it just because I didn't want to fall back into that old mindset.
Right. Yeah. Right. Were you a little bit like apprehensive? Like even like post season where you are going to start eating more and stuff like that, when you're like, oh my God, can I do this?
Yeah, I think I was a little bit scared to like put on weight then, right? Like because now I had worked so hard to get lean again, right? Yeah. And I was enjoying that of the look that you have, right? But no, I had to break that mindset. I'm like, no, if I want to grow from there, I know I have to break away from that and I have to be willing to eat and put on size. And now like off season is my favorite look. I love the fullness. I love like the healthy look. I love it so much. So.
Oh, that's good. So it actually really helped you in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because prior to this stage, you were putting on, like, you were eating a lot, right?
Yes. Yeah. In my off season, I was eating about 4,500 calories, almost 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So other than that, so if someone is considering bodybuilding, what piece of advice would you give them if they're like, hey, I'm thinking about it, you know, what would you say to them?
I guess it just depends on the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
I think too many people have the wrong idea about it. You know, it's become a fad. It's, oh, well, you know, there's so many people on stage and it's all over Instagram and social media, and that's what's getting likes, and, you know, and so a lot of them want to get into it for that reasoning. But I mean, it's not lifelong then, right? Like for me, this is a lifelong, like this is my lifestyle. It's not just a little fad. I've been doing this for 10 years. Like this October is 10 years.
Wow.
For me, you know, so it's not just a fad for me, but if you fall into it as a fad, you're going to follow just as fast, right? So it's just important to see like where your goals are, where your mindset's at, your reasoning behind it, you know, and just make sure that's all in alignment, and you're going to it for the right reasons, right?
Because it's a lot of work.
100%.
It's a lot of time, commitment, pricey, especially for the females.
Yeah. And I always tell people there's a huge difference between working out and wanting to go to the gym and live a healthy lifestyle and competing. And just because you're in the gym does not mean that you have to compete. It's not for everybody, you know, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that just because you're not competing, all of a sudden you're not a bodybuilder, you know, like they're two very, very different things.
Yeah, that's good. A good way of point things out too, right? Like you don't have to be on that stage to do bodybuilding, right? You can just build it and have that as your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Right? And eliminate the
the
that part of it, all the other stuff that comes with it. So, and so you have a son, and oh yes, right. And so what's it like for them seeing their mom, or what's the struggles even with having kids and doing this sport? Is there any, what's it like?
Like my boys have pretty much grown up with this.
Okay.
Like my youngest was 2 when I started. Yeah, and my oldest would have been 8.
Okay.
So my oldest is turning 19 now, right? And my youngest is turning 13. So this is all that they've known. They are both very into working out now. My oldest, he plays football now, and like bodybuilding has been his life. He is at the gym constantly building, like his friends are looking up to him. They turn to him to like spot them in the gym and to like train them properly. So it's so cool that like I've now shown them that lifestyle and they use it in every day, you know, like my oldest does his own meal prep.
Oh, wow.
He knows that that's what he's got to do. And he'll call me every once in a while, Mom, I just need some more ideas for like my meal prep because this is getting a little boring or this and that, you know, and we have those conversations. And it's just so cool that they turn to me for that type of thing, you know, that I've set that example for them and that they want to live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That must feel just
fabulous. Like, okay, I've done something right, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're, like you say, your boys are inspiring their friends and they're asking them for some advice and stuff like that.
Just the domino effect, you know?
Yeah.
Like you set that example for your kids, and then, you know, one day they're going to be an example for their kids, and on and on and on, right? Breaking those generational curses. I mean, my family was never healthy before, so for me to break free from that and like set a better example, it's just so cool. Now I have family members turning to me for advice, you know, and it's
nice. And you've had the support from your family as well, which makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So when your boys were, say, younger and you were, you know, they wanted things that say were not in on your menu. Did you ever struggle with that? Like say that peanut butter and sandwich that just smelled divine at that time. And you couldn't even take the crust of it.
Like, was that a struggle?
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was hard. The first year maybe it was hard.
Mhm.
It's gotten easier over the years because for me, I never want my kids to suffer just because I'm making myself suffer.
Right,
You know,
right.
like that's not fair to them.
Right.
So it would just be me saying, okay, here's your treat, here's your snack, whatever you're wanting.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to my room. Let me know when you're done. I'm gonna put myself on a timeout, you know, and they totally understood. They're like, yeah, that's okay. And they come tell me when they were done or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And now, I mean, they can have ice cream or a chocolate bar in front of me and it doesn't even faze me. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like,
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
my time will come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 In fact, I'll buy them something, be like, okay, I'm craving this. You need to have it. Like, enjoy it.
I give you credit for that. Because that would be hard for me. It's like, if that's what you want, you go somewhere else and get out of my face. So I don't see it. I don't want to hear that, this is delicious and all that. So good for you.
But I also I watch cooking channels while I'm doing cardio.
Oh.
You know, like I
And
love
how?
that.
Please tell me how you ladies do that.
It makes me happy. I'm like, oh, that looks so good. Like it's enjoyable. So it's like makes the cardio more enjoyable. Right?
I'm gonna run that off right now.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna try that one.
Oh, I give you so much credit for that. And then see, I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I'm like, no. I'm getting a little bit better, like on the meal part of it, but don't show me the desserts.
Yeah.
Don't show me all that. I'm not quite there yet because I just suffer. But you get through it. It's not forever, right? Like you can. So what's your plan for after
the show?
Yeah, for what are you gonna eat when you walk off that stage?
I've been craving pasta.
Oh.
I've been craving it. And you know what? Actually, I had pasta in my off season.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, coach was so good and made sure I had gluten free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I was able to have pasta every day. What? Yeah. Yeah. Up until about 4 weeks out. That's when it got taken away. So,
Really?
Yeah. So now I'm getting that craving again for it. I'm like, all right, we're ready for some pasta.
That's fabulous to have.
Yeah.
During. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. Good for you. So do you have anything planned for after this show, like anything this year or nothing now until next year, or what's your goal or what's your intention?
So the plan was to do the show and hopefully qualify for nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So if everything goes as planned, then I'll go to nationals in 4 weeks. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Is that one, and where's that one being held?
That one's in Toronto. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
We lit a fire in me.
Okay. In what way?
So I got first call outs. It was Olympia amateur. So getting first call outs at Olympia amateur.
Yeah, right.
And then the girl that they were comparing me to, they had us go around and around. They were constantly comparing us. She ended up winning her pro card.
Okay.
So to be able to look back at the videos and everything and see the comparisons, I'm like, okay, we're so close.
Mm-hmm.
And it just lit that fire in me. I want this so bad. I'm so close.
Yeah.
You know, I will do whatever it takes. I'll put on the size. I will push myself the hardest I've ever pushed myself.
Yeah.
And so, cool. Okay, we need you to grow. And so it was just pushing and pushing and eating and eating. And yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Just growing, yeah. And then
so I'm really excited to watch you on stage this evening because you look phenomenal.
So much.
So on that note, we're in here because I know you still have a busy evening, and then you can go and enjoy your pasta. So good luck to you and all the best.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank my guests today and my listeners for joining me at Beyond the Prep. If you like this episode and want to make sure you don't miss any others, please subscribe. You can also find us on YouTube.